Cricket is the second most popular sport in the world, only behind soccer, with over 2.5 billion followers. Cricket was invented in England and is now played around the world, predominantly by historically Commonwealth countries. Whenever anyone thinks of sports in Europe, it is the names of legends in football, basketball, tennis, and other sports come to our mind, but never cricket. We have seen nations such as Scotland, Ireland, and the Netherlands participating in more than one Cricket World Cup, and the Netherlands is currently ranked 12th in ODI and 17th in T20 cricket. And of course, this credit goes to KNCB, Royal Dutch Cricket Associations. However, there are still issues which raise questions for the future of cricket in the Netherlands. To get to these answers, we have focused lower class of league on the eastern part of the country, where two cricket clubs are well known historically, such as Salland Cricket Club and the Mixed Cricket Club Hengelo.
Dus ik ken het voetbal en in Nederland is voetbal dé sport. Maar ik heb ook vrij hoog gevolleybald. Dus ik heb meerdere sporten gedaan, naast het feit dat ik gymnastiekleraar ben. Maar cricket heeft iets bijzonders. Bij cricket, het wordt wel eens omschreven als a way of life, een manier van leven. Cricket is religion, is een godsdienst. Ja, je kan er van allerlei klassificaties aan geven, maar het mooie van cricket is heel simpel. Dat je met een team bent. Je bent in principe met 11 man. Maar de teamprestaties zijn onvoorstelbaar belangrijk, maar je eigen prestaties. Dus je kunt individueel enorm presteren. En dus op bepaalde dagen voor je team een wedstrijd winnen. Maar het mooie met dit spel, het is namelijk technisch best moeilijk. Je kunt nog zo goed zijn, je bent zo goed als je laatste wedstrijd. Er zijn heel veel voorbeelden van mensen die gewoon 100 punten maken, held van de dag zijn en de volgende dag ben je voor niks uit. Dus ben je een soort no-no. Dus individueel kun je presteren en de teamprestaties. En die mix van individueel en team, dat is onvoorstelbaar mooi. Je zult nooit zonder je team kunnen.
The home ground of Mixed Cricket Club was made after the efforts of decades by the senior Dutch heroes of cricket. Mr. Johan Friesen is vice chairperson of the Mixed Cricket Club Hengelo, and he describes it as
I started when I was 10, 12 probably, at the other side of Hengelo. Then some time ago we had to move to this area. We first stayed at the ground at the hockey club, quite near to here. And then a few years later the hockey club needed some artificial grounds. And we convinced the council to move our ground to here, and we had the opportunity to build our own clubhouse, which took a lot of work. We built it almost ourselves.
Despite the efforts of getting a cricket ground, yet there are many challenges for cricket in the Netherlands. The former Dutch cricket captain explains.
I've been with the top many years. I've played in the Holland side 24 years. I've been national coach for 20 years, so I know a bit what's happening and what happened in the last decades with Dutch cricket. What we need to do is, we have a position up north, like you said, 12th and 17th. But what we need is a broader base. And for some reason, the several boards we had didn't succeed in making a sound base. If you see a sports structure, it should be like that, a top with a broad base. And we have this. We have a huge top, a heavy top, and a very small base. And that should be altered. We should have more this to enable cricket to be very important in Holland in the next 20, 30, 40 years.
One recurring topic at the recent general meeting of the KNCB was the importance of stepping up the recruitment of Dutch youth cricket players, both boys and girls, and the question of whether this task was being given sufficient priority Within the overall theme of increased participation,
That's something that the board hasn't been able to manage in the last 30, 40, 50 years. At this moment, in Deventer, Salland CC is the only club with youth. But if enthusiastic parents come with their kids, we need to tell them that the first away match is in The Hague, that we hope that the opponent from Amsterdam is coming our way, but often they say, oh, sorry, we don't have transport. And then the next one is away at Bloemendaal. So that is, it's not well covered all over the country. And that is another goal that the board, the KNCB, should have, to get it spread out throughout the country. You get more clubs, more people enthusiastic, more youth competitions, because now it's dead, the youth in the East.
When I was younger, there was a previous, what do you call it, chairman, and he was really enthusiastic about getting young kids to play cricket, and he put a lot of time and effort in that. Nowadays, we don't have someone like that at the club, and most Dutch kids don't know what cricket is. So it's a shame, because there's, as you can see, there's a lot of football and hockey going on this sports complex here. But these kids, they don't know cricket, and they're not interested in playing cricket.
women's cricket in the Netherlands is not really a very well-known game. The country's sporting landscape is dominated by football and hockey. Due to this, it does not get much exposure.
Women's cricket is getting smaller and smaller. We used to, when I played like 7, 8 years ago, I played for Kampong and we had 2 women's teams. And right now I think we have nationally only like 6 or 7 women's teams in the whole country. So I always have to travel to Amsterdam, Rotterdam or The Hague.
Maybe if you look at women's football in the Netherlands, it's really taken a flight a few years ago because of the Dutch women's team doing really well. And I can imagine with something like 2020 cricket that it's more that it's a more attractive sport to do for Dutch kids, but they need to know what it is, and that's the problem in the Netherlands, because most people don't have a clue what I do on Sundays.
Cricket is not a big sport in the Netherlands. It's not very well known. A lot of people, when I tell them that I play cricket, they say, do you play croquet or polo? Or then I'm like, no, it's cricket. And then they always say, oh, that takes a whole day and only like rich people play it in whites. And then I'm like, no. But I've been explaining it for all my life. And it's just like the greatest sport there is.
Good evening. Today the team come the Deventer.
Cricket is not just a sport in most Commonwealth countries, it is a religion. This is the reason that Asian cricket lovers arriving in the Netherlands are regularly surprised to find that there is cricket in this country and enthusiastic to play with host members.
Yeah, when I started, it were only Dutch people playing. And over the years, more and more Asian people came into the country, and they all played cricket at home at some kind of level. Some at a high level, some at a lower level. It changes the game a little bit.
I'm happy they're there. I'm happy they're there because we have cricket with them. And what you find, and you might personally know, that I've been always coaching, and I've been getting my advanced certificates in England, and I've worked with top coaches. A lot of countries like India and Pakistan, the players come, they find work here in Holland or whatever, and they have in cricket history often played tape ball cricket. You know, they didn't have a lot of coaching, but they're eager. So their presence, their eagerness and their enthusiasm is for me a plus. The negative thing is not that they are negative, but I see too many clubs who rely on 10, 15 Indian players or Pakistani players. We should have, like you asked before, we should have more Dutch players involved and get a mix. So maybe that's I might be dreaming, but that's the ideal world in 5 to 10 years time. That we don't have 3,000, 3,500 cricketers in Holland, but we have 5,000, 6,000 and a lot of Dutch players who join the Indian and the Pakistani players who are here at the moment.
I think a lot has to do with what I just shared, but the thing is here we see mostly the Dutch people, they play a lot of soccer. And that's what you see in the mix when they get to the clubs as well. We have a lot of Indians in the club, we have some Pakistanis, we have people from Afghanistan, we have a lot from South Africa, and that's mostly the mix. I think we have just a few Dutchmen in our club, but from what I know, cricket used to be pretty popular in 2 decades back in the Netherlands. Their national team is picking up, I guess, and cricket as well, and that's where the youth cricket kicks in.
If the KNCB is to have any hope of achieving its declared ambition of achieving ICC full membership within 5 years, it is vitally important that significant progress be made in increasing playing numbers of youth, spread out the cricket from the Randstad area to the whole country, fulfill the requirements of transportation for youth, and put efforts to give exposure to this amazing sport in the whole country.